Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo, and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. Oh, yo.
What's good, man?
What's going on? Should we get some applause?
Hey, man, whatever, man. You was accused of last week of having cheating by having the applause.
Yeah, man. We really that one alone. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Where's Scotty B?
All right, man. So, man, I guess it's been real wild in sports, and I guess we should start with the rest in peace to Gale Sayers. He passed away this morning. So I guess we start there. Youngest, arguably the best back in NFL history. I mean, some people say Gale Sayers, some people say Walter Payton, some people say Barry Sanders, but he's in the conversation.
For somebody to play 65 games. And you look at what he statistically was able to do, arguably probably played the greatest individual performance by a player with that 6-touchdown game that he had.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say his rookie year, he averaged 134 yards per game. He's got the rookie record, 22 touchdowns in 14 games is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
For somebody, the youngest Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Went in at, I believe he went in at 34.
34, yep.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Gale Sayers, I want to tell you, I wasn't hip to him until I saw that movie. I believe it's Brian Song.
That is it.
Yeah. And that talks about like him and his friendship with I can never think of the guy's name. Is Brian? It's not Brian's song, but it's like Brian.
Piccolo.
And just an amazing story, amazing person. It was a sad day to lose him.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. That one was a little tough, man. It was just all I could think of is 2020 being 2020. So.
So I have to ask you, because it is a debate show, and I might as well say it. Where do you put Gale Sayers when it comes to running backs? Because his career is so he had a phenomenal career,
mm-hmm.
but a lot of people
overlook him.
Yeah. They have a tendency to overlook him.
So. I'll admit, when growing up, I didn't really know much about Gale Sayers. I mean, when I started watching football, I didn't really know. As I started playing football, I had older coaches that would school me on Gale Sayers, because at that time, Barry Sanders was the guy and everything, and Emmitt Smith, and they always say at that time they were saying Walter Payton. You heard a lot of people saying Walter Payton was the greatest running back ever. And I had some coaches who said, you might want, Gale Sayers was a bad boy if he didn't retire early, some of those records may not be where they are, today. And then started doing research, of course, and notice how good of a back he was. He would definitely be in my top 10. He's definitely in the top 10. And somewhere around, the top 5. He's somewhere in there.
So you're absolutely correct. If you talk to older people that watch him play, some would make the argument that you don't know football if you don't have Gale Sayers in your top running backs
Right.
of all time. Now his career ended. I don't want to say tragically, but
Injury.
yeah, he had a knee injury, and back then they didn't have the technology that you have today. Now today he would have sustained that same knee injury and he would have been able to play. But back then, it was considered the end of your career when you did have a knee injury like that. But yeah, I always, I don't want to say it's what Gale Sayers is known for a little bit, but sometimes people will make that Hall of Fame argument. Well, Gale Sayers only played 65 games. He only played for 5 years. I believe he played 7 seasons, but he was only healthy for about 5
Right.
out of them. So a lot of people would make that argument, but yeah, he was a bad boy.
Yeah, man. So I guess we can stay. You want to stay? Let's stay football. We can get the basketball later. So it was a crazy week. You know what? No, because if the Cowboys stunk it up, what's your take on that game? What was it? Bad Falcons or good Cowboys?
Bad Falcons.
I knew you was gonna say that. You're so predictable. You're so predictable.
Bad
Falcons. But elaborate.
So this is why I gotta give the Cowboys credit, right? With all that talent on their roster, they are never out of it, and they showed that. Despite bad coaching and despite turnovers, that they can overcome a huge deficit. What I thought of when I was watching the game was I thought of 2 teams that mirrored each other. As far as being just choke artists and underachievers, that Falcons team, from choking in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, that's just what they do, and that's just kind of like I hate to say it. A lot of people, the Falcons get like a pass. They've always got a pass, but they will figure out how to lose. So I felt like I was watching a bowl game with the biggest choke teams that you could put in it. So exciting way to come back, Cowboys. I give them their credit, but it was the Falcons.
You done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't like you, dog. Yeah, I don't like you. Yo, you are a hater.
A hater.
So the biggest choke artist, huh?
The Falcons, absolutely.
No, I give you that. But so the Cowboys are big choke artists too. You are terrible, man.
Yo, if they would have lost,
I ain't gonna talk about that lead. I ain't gonna talk about the lead that the 49ers had in the Super Bowl that they gave up. But it wasn't 29 or 25 points.
Hey, you gotta be there though. At least you're there. But,
yeah. What did Ricky Bobby say? If you're not first, you're last. but nah. So I'll agree here. I think it was a combination of the two, because I don't think you get that outcome if you're not good enough, right? As far as like coming back, and I will say, me personally, if Jason Garrett was still the coach, we wouldn't have came back. I don't think we would have came back, or we would have came back a little bit, but it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been a belief that we could come back and win this game. I will say the Falcons found every way possible to lose that game without turning the ball over. And I just said, you got that onside kick. The funny thing was after, when we went for 2 the first time, I said, what is happening right now? Like, what are you guys doing? And I just said, this is crazy. But even then, I said, I think they could find a way to win this game. I still think they could win this game. And when that onside kick came, I was like, nobody recovers onside kicks anymore. And when they created that prayer circle, it was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I was
question about that because
Uh-huh.
you're a resident expert.
okay.
If you touch the ball before it hits 10 yards, is that a legal procedure or
On who?
on the receiving team?
No, you can touch it whenever you want. You can touch the ball whenever you want. So had they touched it before it went 10 yards and they didn't get it, the Cowboys would have had an opportunity to recover it. So the Cowboys couldn't touch it until it went 10 yards, right? So they couldn't touch it until it went 10 yards, which, I mean, but it didn't look like it was going to go 10 yards. So that's why I give the Falcons a little bit of bail. But as it's getting closer, I'm not backing up, because it's not a punt. And that's what it looked like. They were like fielding a punt. That's what it looked like. So
yeah, it looked like some I guess a lack of preseason and just
no, man, that's not a lack of preseason, man.
It's just an unpreparedness because I was like, well, when I was watching, I said, is there a rule they're missing? Like, why is everybody just standing around looking at the football?
Yeah, they created a player circle, man. They were playing, man.
Oh my God!
But I'll say this. The Cowboys still had to find a way to score, and at the end of the day, they found a way to get the ball back, and they found a way to get in the field goal range, and score and win the game. The Falcons do look crazy. Don't get me wrong; they look absolutely crazy. So I'll say sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I mean, and I would agree with that too. And all in seriousness, Cowboys fans do have a little bit of a right to, be happy. That team is notorious for just ducking and, just giving up and quitting and not showing any heart. So it was.
Yo, Scott, you gotta chill out, man. Yo, that's one of the most false statements you ever made. Who? The Cowboys?
They showed heart.
The Cowboys normally quit? You got to be kidding me.
Week 17 last year.
Huh?
Week 17 last year going into the playoffs.
The Cowboys quit.
It's the Eagles down the stretch.
That was week 16 and they didn't quit. It was bad. We played bad. There wasn't anything in that game that said the Cowboys quit. They just played bad football. They didn't quit. It's a difference between quitting and just playing bad.
You know what though? But I'll take that. The last couple of seasons I've just been watching bad football from them. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah, I swear.
I mean, we get our draw on that, but that's cool.
But with that being said, Cowboys are 1-1 going into Seattle. I expect them to win the game. Yes, I expect the Cowboys to win the game. And here's the thing. And here's what I take from Mike McCarthy that you're probably not going to give him credit for. He's really been a lot more aggressive than Jason Garrett ever was. And I think that
going for 2 4th downs in your own possession is definitely, your own side of the field. Fake punts is definitely aggressive, right? It is.
All right, so I see we got some comments here. I'll post them a little later, but I expect them with that receiving core able to run the ball. What Cam did in Seattle last Sunday night, that gives me all the confidence in the world. Now where I don't have the confidence is in the defense, but the Cowboys can score with the best of them, and they're gonna beat Seattle, man. And if you're willing to place a wager, not necessarily money wise, we can make a little bet. We want to make a hat bet. We can make a hat bet.
I'm not in the business of betting on Seattle.
You remember what happened last time?
Yeah, not really in that business. But what you think about all the injuries?
It was a rough week, man.
Yeah.
It was a rough week. I think that San Francisco suffered the most, but there were a lot of top guys that went down, and some may say it's no preseason, right? And I don't know, man, because they were still practicing. They still had camp. You know, they didn't have the games, and a lot of times the guys that went down don't go down in preseason because they're barely playing in preseason.
So that's twofold, right? And we talked about it a little bit. I think last week I said, it was the first great week, and maybe the NFL didn't need preseason, and I'm prepared to say that I was wrong, because preseason really just isn't about suiting up and playing games against other teams.
Right.
These guys wasn't hitting for a long time, and like you got OTAs that started about May, right after the draft, and you got that whole period during the summer to where you can get your body football ready. I think they started hitting was about 3 weeks before the season or 2 weeks before the season. So it's for me, it's not all about the games that they lost by not having the preseason, but just the actual true essence of a football camp.
Mm-hmm.
I think that contributed to a lot of the injuries. And you're right, it's some big names. It's a lot more names out there from guys that are just as essential, may play the line or something like that, and they're essential to their teams. They're just not getting the headlines.
Yeah, so you're a 49ers fan. I really couldn't wait to ask you this. And how are you feeling? Because it was a lot. I think Bosa, Garoppolo, Mostert. Well, however you say his name. All those guys got hurt. Bosa's out for the year. Garoppolo, they saying and Mostert, I think he's we don't know. But a lot of them are now saying that it was the turf at MetLife Field, and they have to play there again because they played the Jets last week. Now they play the Giants at MetLife again. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's a cop out, or is there some legitimacy to that?
I think it could be some legitimacy to it. As a 49er fan, though, it's devastating. You look at the number of injuries that have occurred. You look at you've got Solomon Thomas, you got Joey Bosa. D Ford is not in a good position. Like he's got like a neck and a back injury. He might suit up, but he's not there. We traded Buckner away. So you look at like our defensive line was really one of the staples of what we do, and to have that many injuries on the defensive line, it's tough. And you start looking at the quarterback and the tight end position. That's a real staple of our offense. And furthermore, you've got to look at our division. So you're looking at Seattle is 2-0, the Rams are 2-0, the Cardinals are 2-0, and we're 1-1. So the division was already going to be competitive. But to add those injuries on top of one of the arguably the most competitive divisions in football, it was tough watching all those players get injured on the tackle on Sunday.
So did it make you feel? Were you down? Did you like shed any tears? How were you feeling? Were you depressed? Talk to us, man. Let us know, man.
I wasn't depressed. I will say this. I was more concerned with my fantasy teams. Because see, all jokes aside, I'm one of the biggest 49er fans out there.
Right.
But I've had a lot of money tied into fantasy this year.
Absolutely.
When I started looking at those rosters, I was like, God dang, everybody is getting hurt. The only thing I can say is I'm not alone. It's a lot of other people that are in the same boat that I'm in. But yeah, that's devastating, man. Devastating.
Yeah, it's Christian McCaffrey was, I guess he's considered the top guy to go down. Good thing is he's not out for the year. You know what I'm saying? But fantasy wise, you in trouble if you got Christian McCaffrey, because that more than likely that means you had the first pick, and to me, I feel like the first pick is like the Madden curse. It was like, man, that first guy that gets picked gets hurt so much, it gets like, it's crazy, and it kind of screws you over, because that position that you draft in, and not to get into a whole bunch of fantasy talk, but that position that you draft in, you're already at a disadvantage. So it's like, my God. But Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, I mean, dang, that's probably in most drafts that was probably pick 1 and 2.
Yeah, it definitely impacted me, especially in the OTR league. I've got Christian McCaffrey, but I'll even take it a step further. You look at like the injuries to Michael Thomas. I heard Julio Jones was limping around. You look at Cortland Sutton out there in Denver. And it's one other big name that I'm forgetting. They got hurt, but it's Devontae Adams. I heard he's battling hamstring issues. So yeah, it's a lot of injuries. But one good thing about football is it is a next man up sport.
So
go ahead.
So I don't know. Should we get into Tyrod now?
Yeah, let's talk about him.
All right. So we talking about injuries, and Tyrod Taylor, quarterback of the Chargers, he ended up. So Herbert started, and like right before the coin toss, pretty much, and everybody was wondering like what was happening. Why was he starting? The report got released today that their own team doctor pretty much punctured his lung with a painkiller shot because of his cracked ribs. To say I was shocked was an understatement. Oh my gosh, he has a punctured lung now because of that.
So my initial reaction was the same as yours. I was shocked. But after doing a little bit more research on it, this is not uncommon. So where the shot had to go is vital. So it's not that huge of a mistake in their eyes. This is something that not necessarily occurs in football, but it is common. So typically, what I was also surprised about is he could be out 4 to 6 weeks with this. Pretty much people heal from it, they recover, but you're limited with the physical activity that you can do.
Right.
So if I'm Tyrod Taylor, he's one of those guys that he's the backup quarterback that is good enough to be a starter. And wherever he goes, he seems to just have bad luck with these first-round draft picks.
Luck, man.
Being the starter. I mean, we saw it in Buffalo. We saw it in Cleveland. And I'm looking at something. I'm like, God dang, they about to replace this man
again.
Yeah, so he's just got some terrible luck. Just bad luck. Bad luck.
So you know, I understand what you're saying about it's common, or maybe not common, but it can happen, and I did see Anthony Lynn defend the Chargers medical staff, but I don't know, man. That's a serious injury, man. That it's not like it's a I don't know, but should there be some sort of some reprimand?
No.
Let me ask you this. If you go to the doctor and you're going to get a shot, and they do some damage that wasn't part of the shot, you're not suing that doctor, or you're not taking some sort of action against that doctor?
That's tough because you just kind of maybe caught me in a lie. Yeah, it's a lot different. Yeah, it's a lot different when it's you. Yeah, I got the sue. I got to get paid.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, there are some details that I need to know what the conversation was between the doctor and Tyrod. You see what I'm saying? Because if they're giving that disclaimer, but I just don't know, man. There's a lot of like gray area there.
Well, the NFL is investigating because they want to make sure that they represent Tyrod Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure they do right by the player. So they are investigating. So it's going to be more to come. It's probably one of the weirdest stories that I've heard in a while. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. For
Tyrod, man, I kind of feel bad for him because, like you said, he has like some bad luck, man. It's like this guy can play. He has a great winning percentage. You know, it ain't like he's a scrub. He's been like that bridge quarterback that's never really got his shot. You know what I'm saying? Even in Baltimore, he didn't really get a shot in Baltimore because they had Flacco. But
you know, and we'll move on from Tyrod Taylor. That's not a bad position. I always felt like the backup quarterback is a cool position. You know what I mean? Like,
but he should be a constant starter. He's proven that he should be a starter in this league. You can sigh all you want, Scott. He's proven that he should be a starter in this league.
He's a tweener.
Nah, he's a starter. There's no tweener. He's a starter. Scott, he wins everywhere he goes. Everywhere. In Buffalo, they just because I'm telling you, they had the sorriest quarterback in the history of quarterbacks, and they tried to start him. They tried multiple times. They tried multiple times to start Nate Peterman, and you know what he did? He stunk it up.
So this is why I give Tyrod Taylor. He's going to make smart decisions. He's going to take care of the football. But I don't think people are just super excited if that's the starting quarterback of your team. You know what I mean? And that's not really a knock on him. Like I said, he's had a good NFL career, but I don't know, like, if I'm thinking like we got a chance at the Super Bowl with Tyrod Taylor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking like,
and I get that. It's a lot of starters in the league right now who's like, I don't know if I'm getting to the Super Bowl with that guy, but he's a quality starter.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you've seen the comments. You know, we got Jamal here saying, hell no, Tyrod, he ain't no starter. You know, he also said he's a bridge. I did say he was a bridge quarterback. He seems to be that bridge quarterback. But
said that he's a starter, which, like I said, like if my quarterback goes down and Tyrod's right there, I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Or if he's the opening day starter and we're in a rebuild, like all right, cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, come on, man, not Tyrod.
Yeah, like we could draft somebody next year, or we're gonna go after a free agent. It's like, all right, cool, Tyrod. But like, yo, to go all in, like, yo, we got Tyrod, like we gonna be good. No.
But, so you can't say no because we've never had that opportunity to see.
So here's the thing with Tyrod.
He always looks for sorry team. Stop signing with them sorry teams, man. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I think that he's had opportunities. He may not have had as many opportunities as others, but he's had opportunities to where he's went in and he's the man. You know what I mean? Like, it's his job to lose. You know, in Buffalo, yeah, that regime, that new coaching, they didn't want him. So it didn't work there. In Cleveland,
not to mention he led them to the playoffs, but whatever, it's cool.
Yeah, and then in Cleveland, it was just kind of like one of them deals to where you have a short leash. You know what I mean? Like they want their draft pick to play, so you've got to come out and play well. He didn't for the most part. And then San Diego, he just really didn't get the opportunity. So I mean, yeah. Maybe he'll bounce back. Justin Herbert, he played a good first game, but I don't see him.
Justin Herbert, he's going to be good. He's going to be good. he's gonna be good, Scott. He's gonna be good.
So you don't think there's a possibility he'll go back to
Oh, no. After I said all of that, no. Tyrod, he's gonna be the backup. When he gets healthy, he's gonna be the backup. They drafted Justin Herbert, what, 6? I think he was drafted 6. So yeah, I mean, it's the same thing over and over again. You go somewhere where you go to a team that needs a starting quarterback. I mean, that drafts that has a high draft pick drafts a high quarterback. Yeah, you get hurt. I mean, unfortunately, it was the team doctors. But that didn't win this time. It wasn't even the players. It was the team doctor. That is crazy.
All right, so let me ask you this, right? So Drew Brees, there's been a lot of conversation about him, and there's been a lot of whispers with Jameis Winston as the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Brees done.
Before I say he's done, I need to see a couple more games because I do recall. I want to say it was. When did the Patriots win the Super Bowl in 2018? When did they win it before then? I think it was 20. They won back-to-back, right? 2017. And I want to say that was the year that they were saying Tom Brady was done. They didn't win it. They won it in 2016. They were saying he was done in 2016. They had that Monday night game. They benched him. I think they played Kansas City.
Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah, they played Kansas City, and everybody was like, "Oh," and Tom Brady looked just how Brees looks right now, and they benched him. He came back the next week. I don't think they won. They lost another game for like a month and a half, 2 months or something like that. So I need to see more. Do they give Jameis some playing time? I don't see why not. And they've. What's their coach name?
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton has done that already. It's not like he's never done that. He's put Taysom in, and I could see Jameis getting some playing time, but I don't think Brees is done like Peyton Manning when they won that Super Bowl, but I think it's getting
a lot like Peyton Manning. It looked a lot like.
I don't think he's done, man. Peyton Manning can throw the ball 15 yards. Drew Brees can. He doesn't have to. But people were saying all of this. He didn't have his best receiver, and Emmanuel Sanders didn't do it. He couldn't get open. But he didn't. Not having Michael Thomas is a big deal.
So he was
so he didn't have Michael Thomas, and Emmanuel Sanders couldn't get open. All you had was Kamara, and that was about it. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, if this proceeds, let's say another 6 games, to where he just looks like hot garbage. At what point do you bring in Jameis Winston?
Are they winning or are they losing?
They're losing.
If you lose 6 games, if you lose your next 6 games, then you're out of the play.
So let's go 3. Let's go 3. 6 might be a little extreme. Let's go 3.
No. You're paying him $25 million this year. No.
So you roll with him.
You roll with him. You roll with who got you there. I mean, he's gotten them there multiple times. I mean, they've had bad luck, but nah, you go with who got you there. And Drew Brees, he got them there. I mean, the good thing is they got Jameis, and Jameis ain't no scrub. People can say what they want about Jameis. Jameis shouldn't be on the Saints, and he shouldn't have a salary of $1 million. My personal opinion. But let's get into that. So Denver star quarterback Drew Lock, who I think is a pretty good quarterback, got hurt. He's done for the year. There's a quarterback named Colin Kaepernick out there that they didn't even work out. They didn't even give him a tryout. He wasn't even on their radar, right? mind you, just a couple of months ago, we heard that all these teams want Colin Cap. Everybody wants Cap. Blah blah blah. We're gonna work him out when it's time to work people. He ain't had not one workout. So Denver, who is ultimately gonna have a top 10 pick this year, because when you sign Blake Bortles, you're signing your death wish. All right. So I'm sorry. When you sign Blake Bortles, they're gonna be looking for a coach, and probably they're probably gonna be looking for another quarterback. Because who knows when how Drew Lock is going to recover from this. But anyway, to not bring in Colin Kaepernick for a workout is foolish. It's dumb. It makes no sense. Bortles is terrible. Terrible, Scott. Absolutely garbage.
I concur. And there's nothing I can say. He is deserving of a workout at least.
At least a workout.
At least a workout. Doesn't mean that you sign him, but I think the Denver fans at least they're owed that the team at least does their due diligence and try to find somebody out there. But you're right; they're going to probably be picking in the top 10 again. The injury bug has really gotten them too. Right before the season, was a couple of days with Von Miller, him getting hurt. Like I said, Cortland Sutton, he's hurt. That's the top receiver. Drew Lock, you've mentioned. So that team is they're not as bad off as the 49ers, but they've got some major injuries too. So.
You said Von Miller, right?
Yeah, I said Von Miller.
Yeah. So don't but they still have Philip Lindsay, all right, and Melvin Gordon. All right, let's get to the win of the week, man. Because
no, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
All right, yo. So my winner of the week this week is Ty Lawson. I don't know if you heard about Ty Lawson, but he played in the Chinese league, and I think it was last week. He had a post where he had posted himself. It looked like he was in the strip club. And he had put Chinese girls got cake and posted
on the low. He said on the low.
Got cakes on the low and posted that to Instagram. So he's found himself. They're not renewing his contract, and they pretty much said, "Nah, we're done with you." So that post cost him a job. But I just thought, how stupid can you be, man? Like, what are you doing, man? What are your thoughts on that, man, when you saw it?
I laughed. I was like, man, so trying to keep it PG.
He's about to change his stance. So he said,
hey, he liked what he liked, man. So, should he have put that on social media? I've seen worse on social media, Scott. I've seen worse on social media.
I mean, you gotta look at the country, though. Like, they don't get that stuff over there. Like, this is not the U.S. where you just freedom of speech and freedom of post and post whatever you want.
So I agree. He damn, man. So is it safe to say they're not gonna put up a statue of Ty Lawson?
Nah. He's good. He's not welcome in those streets over there. Ty Lawson, phenomenal athlete. Had some good years in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol started impacting his career.
Right.
Traded to Houston, and I thought he was going to be a good fit for that team at the time. He even had a stint, I believe, with the Wizards, where John Wall was out a couple years ago, and he looked really good. Ton of potential. Been around. I think he's drafted in 2009, so he's been around 11 years. But from the last time I saw him, he looked like he would be a solid backup point guard and could probably team contend if he got his head right. I would pause, but he he would be a great fit, really, with the Lakers. He'd have been a good fit.
Hey, now, does he play defense?
Ugh.
I mean, everybody. I mean, for the most part, most of the guys on the Lakers play defense, man.
So, what have you been thinking about the Lakers series?
Are we gonna go right there? I think that they win in 5.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a similar game to what we saw. Just shout out to Jamal Murray, phenomenal fourth quarter. But we're not going to see another game where Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, and JaVale McGee combined for 4 rebounds.
That's crazy.
LeBron James played a phenomenal game, another triple-double. Anthony Davis, I mean, really, he put up like 27, but it was just a lack of rebounds. But if that Laker team, and shout out my dad, he reminded me last week when I was calling the role players bums that if the Lakers play team defense, they can compete with anybody.
And they do that well.
Right.
Nice. Yeah. Mr. Smith, I appreciate it for schooling this guy. I've been trying to tell him this. So maybe he was just, he was putting on for the show because he didn't want to agree with me.
Bums, I will agree. Bums was a bit overly harsh. They're guys that know their job. I think what I was highlighting, and I still agree with this, is they don't have a legitimate third person, in my opinion, that they can depend on night in and night out. But they do have guys. Caldwell Pope is having a good series. He's stepped it up. But my opinion on Caldwell Pope is he's just hit or miss. He's having a good series this series, but he's not somebody I would hang my hat on that, okay, every night he's going to be that reliable third option.
Understood. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I mean, look, here's the thing, man. The Lakers are going to the finals. The Heat are going to the finals. And, I mean, it is what it is at this point. I'm just, Boston, I think Boston and Miami's tonight. I got Miami winning by, it's going to be a 1-possession game, maybe 2, maybe 4, between 3 and 4. I mean, 3 and 6. I think that these two teams are evenly matched, but I think that Miami just causes too many problems for them, just like LA causes too many problems for Denver. And I tell you what, Denver's not going to quit. So even if they go down 3-1, we've seen it. But listen, if Denver somehow goes down 3-1 again, and they come back and win, I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, look, we both had the Lakers in this, but we can't discredit or count Denver out. I mean, they're really one just fabulous, outstanding shot away from being up 2-1. They won the game too.
Yeah.
So, that went the Lakers' way, but they're right there. And I think with a performance yesterday, they've got a lot of confidence. I mean, Jamal Murray, if he can continue to take over games like that, they're going to be tough to beat. Now, one thing that I will commend and one thing that I've liked in this series is Dwight Howard, with the exception of last game.
Mm-hmm.
I like what he's doing with Jokic. I like that he's in his face. He's challenging him. He's trying to bully him a little bit, but he's playing bully ball down there, and I like it. But the Denver Nuggets, they got so much talent, and the Lakers, they're going to have to adjust it. They're going to have to put the clamps on them, and it's going to be an interesting series. I know we both said 5, but I could very well see this series going to 7 games.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And if it goes seven, here's why I still pick the Lakers. Because LeBron James in a game 7 is damn near unbeatable.
Right.
He's damn near unbeatable, man. And so I would definitely go with what you call it.
Yeah, my frustration with watching him last night was he as phenomenal as his stat line was. I felt like he settled a lot. He settled for a lot of jump shots to where, I always feel like he's one of those players that can get to the hoop every single time if he wants. He can put his head down. He can get around everybody. He doesn't have to settle for jump shots. So just watching that, I was just like, dang, man, LeBron, just take over the game and be that killer that I know you are. But we'll see how it goes. If Denver wins one more, I can see him getting it in. But I think what he's trying to do, and it may be good for the chemistry of their team, he's trying to let Anthony Davis lead.
Yeah. And so do you think you see how some of these, people just don't like some like media people just dislike LeBron, and they kind of go with, oh, he doesn't have it anymore. This is AD's team.
Well, I think that's a fair assumption for somebody that's in their 17th year. I mean, it's still LeBron's team, but it's unreasonable to ask somebody that has put on the basketball mileage that he's in his 17th year have to be the main guy every night. Now, do I think he's capable of it? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think that we hold anybody else to that expectation. You know what I mean? Like he's got the championship or bust mentality every year. Doesn't matter if he throws out 50 points, 20 assists, 20 rebounds. We're all going to still critique his game, especially if he loses, that he should have been more dominant. The expectations for LeBron James are just unreal. So, I mean, I get what he's doing. I think he's been around long enough to where if he feels like the team is better with Anthony Davis leading, I would trust his judgment on that.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't think they was going to sweep Denver, and it's fine. But there was a coaching hire. Billy Donovan, he's the Bulls. He got picked up by the Bulls, man.
What were your thoughts with that?
I actually like that. I like that pick, man. I like that pick. I think he's the best of the guys that are available.
Okay.
Now it's gonna take some time, and if they can find a way to get him some, I mean, now don't get me wrong, the Bulls do have some talent. People are gonna get in the comments and not agree with me, and I understand that. That's fine. But if you look at some of the guys that's on the Bulls, you got Zach LaVine, you got the young boy who was on the all-rookie team, Kobe. They got what's his name?
Yeah.
So they got some pieces. They got some.
Got the guy. I don't want to say
marketing. You got marketing. So they have some pieces that can definitely get the job done. So we're gonna see what his coaching is gonna be put to the test, huh?
Let me ask you this: what are the Bulls missing? Because on paper they sound pretty good, or that they should be able to compete.
The problem is they got too many people at the same position, which is the problem with a lot of the sorry teams. They got too many people at the same position.
Does LaVine need to go?
See, the thing is, he probably doesn't want to, but he's probably, they gave him the money, but he's the biggest asset where they can get a lot of things in return, and that's going to be the unfortunate thing, because I think Zach LaVine in Chicago is actually a really, really good fit. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, if they get a Jimmy Butler type, a personality, whatever position, it doesn't matter the position. If they get a Jimmy Butler type who's gonna hold everybody accountable, who's gonna play defense like crazy, and who's gonna do the team things, they're gonna be fine. You know, so
I think it would be interesting to see Billy Donovan. Well, OKC, that team went out the first round, whatever. But he had a wealth of talent to really coach with. I think this year was the only year that he only had Chris Paul. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he develops a younger team and if he's able to get them over the hump. Because I feel like that OKC job, I don't want to say he fell into it, but it wasn't like he had to rebuild anything. That team was pretty set when he got there, and then they were able to get other players through, acquisitions and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see if he is really that good of a coach. I was a huge fan in college. Those Florida teams that he took to the championship. I love those teams, but
he is a good coach, though. He is a good coach. I mean, to get that team to the playoffs when nobody thought they was going to the playoffs. Nobody. It was like they're gonna trade Chris Paul. They're gonna trade Chris Paul and get some pieces. I remember I heard Chris Paul to Miami. I heard Chris Paul to LA, and he said he wanted to stay, and he stayed, and they produced, man. And it wasn't like they was an 8th seed. I think they were a 5th. Yeah, they were a 5th seed. So 5th or 6th. No, they were a 5th seed.
So you say you got the Heat tonight, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. That series is starting to heat up. 2-1 Heat. Boston win. We've got a series. Heat win. They're on the brink of elimination. So that's going to be interesting to see.
So, Scott, it is Wednesday. I'm waiting for this guy to log back in. But we got another battle tonight.
Okay.
We got another battle tonight. We waiting for Derek. Derek, we're gonna get him in here, but it's gonna be rather interesting. So originally, he was supposed to have Mario was supposed to be his Rock, who we call went to school with. That was supposed to be his opponent tonight. But he couldn't do it, and then some of the substitutes that we had in place, they couldn't do it, for whatever reason, and we're not gonna push it off too long because we got things to do. So because we know the show has to go on, I decided to step up to the plate.
Oh wow!
And battle Derek tonight, and if he decides to show his face on the off the record screen, then we can talk to him and get his thoughts. But I mean, it seems like he's a little scared, so y'all may have to wait till 8:30 to hear what he got to say.
So let me ask you this: What is the categories and what is the range tonight?
So the category, we don't know the categories until.
Category, but
what are we doing? We're doing R&B. We're gonna keep it R&B, and then next week is gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be a hip hop and R&B battle.
Okay.
And but this week we're gonna keep it R&B. Any range. I believe that we said any range. So hey Scott, man. Sometimes a wise man once told me, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Oh, Scott, we didn't even talk about prime time. What are we doing? Oh, my
prime time. That was good. Was it Jackson State?
Jackson State University, man. Oh, man. Shout out to Deion Sanders, the new head coach, the 21st head coach at Jackson State.
I think he's going to do a great job. he's got a good football mind, man. I mean, if you just watch him commentate, he knows what he's doing. And he knows both sides of the ball. He phenomenal player. I'm glad that he got the opportunity to coach, and I think he's going to do good, man. Definitely rooting for him.
Yeah, that's so big for HBCUs, man. You know what? We're gonna have to come back to this, because hold on one second, and maybe Derek could probably get into this conversation as well. Derek, we need some light, brother. So Derek, you there?
Yeah.
All right. So
You see me?
no, we can see a black box, which is fine. So before we get into the battle, we were just talking about Deion Sanders, becoming a head coach at Jackson State. And we're gonna talk about it more next week. But I think that him going to Jackson State over. I know he wanted to go to Florida State, and he's an alumnus of Florida State and everything. But I think this is such a bigger move, especially in the times that we're in, with him going to an HBCU, and you had McCord Maker going to Howard. I just think that this is a huge move for HBCU, and I'm just happy to see it.
No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll get to prom next week. All right, we get to prime time, Coach Prom next week. My friend, I don't know if you heard, but you got to battle me now.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about Derek. Yeah.
So I wouldn't listen to this guy because he's just a hater. He's actually going to be the host tonight.
Okay.
So he's going to throw a lot of shade my way, and I understand. I'm prepared for it because I've known this guy for 20 some odd years, and it is what it is. But what can the people expect in the battle from you?
You just gotta stay tuned. I don't know. It depends on what you play. It depends.
Right. Hey, Derek, where are you from?
Richmond.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I went to same high school Chingy went to.
Okay. All right. So y'all grew up together. So are you saying y'all on the same level? Are you better?
Oh, I've been killing Chingy. That's easy work.
Hold on one second. Okay, so hey, look. So with that being said, Derek, 30 minutes. We gonna be in the battlegrounds. We gonna compete, and we gonna see what's good.
Question.
What's up?
Is R&B with rap features or straight R&B, or doesn't have?
So we just doing R&B. We just doing R&B, and so like we got the 5 that we're doing on our own, and then it's the 5 categories.
All right.
Where we'll have a minute to whatever, and then we go from there. So
Derek, I'm gonna give you a word of advice. I think you'll be good. Categories is what gets everybody.
Yeah. I've been watching them.
Okay, yeah. So that's the only thing that I think people underestimate going into the battle is those categories. So.
Hey, hold on. Let me ask you a question. You been drinking?
Nah, I'm about to. That's what I'm trying to get off.
Get yourself a drink. Okay. Got the watermelon, the summer splash.
Yeah.
Make sure and don't mix it neither. Straight no chaser. Go ahead, man. But all right, man. So thanks for chiming in, man. We like to have the people see who's about to battle. Scott, is a Yoke 'em Up challenge in play or no?
That depends on Derek. All right, so I don't know how much you watch off the record, but
yeah, I heard y'all talking about to crack the egg on the head or something.
He knows about it. Hey,
I don't have no eggs tonight, but I don't plan on losing, so it's all good.
So no. So you didn't crack the egg tonight. It'll be next week on the show.
Okay. All All right.
Oh, you're gay. So, hey, you accept this challenge for the Yoga Mark?
Yeah.
Look, we've been home in the pandemic, and we want to give the people a show. So we're gonna give the people a show, and then
Got a Yoga Mark challenge. Okay.
let's go, man. Look, man. Hey, man. So we gonna talk offline before the battle, and make sure everything is good. You know, we'll do a sound check and everything. So because we don't want what happened last week to happen this week. So and it'll stream on my Facebook page. So it'll be on my Facebook page, and and we're gonna get it popping.
Okay. All right. That's what it is.
All right, D. All right. So, that's fine with me. Listen, man. I ain't scared of no challenges, man. All right.
Big of you.
I wasn't even supposed to be battling, but I ain't scared of no more challenges. All right. I'm like, look. All right. It is what it is. He think he's slick. He gonna be cracking that egg over his head on next Wednesday.
Yeah, man. When you asked me to battle, I was like, look, man, I don't be prepared like that, man. You know, because battles, hey, you got to know what you're doing, man. And some of these contestants that are battling know what the hell they doing. So,
It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. So, let's get out of here. It's 8:01 on the East Coast, 5:01 on the West. So, this is off the record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scotty B.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com.